Hello, welcome to Spotlight on Service. Today is October 26, 2022. My name is Laura Hakes, and I have here with us two gals who are here to talk to us about the MADD program. We have Danielle Lewis and Vicky Renwick. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. So tell us, what does MADD, M-A-D-D, stand for?
So MADD stands for Mothers Against Drunk Driving. The main mission of MADD is to stop impaired driving. The major focus, or one of the major focuses, is victim support.
Victim support, okay. So when did you join MADD?
So we both joined after the loss of my sister, Taylor Renwick. She was killed by a drunk driver in October of 2015. I joined MADD, I think, about a year later, and you were just
It was
a little...
2019 for me. It took me a little longer.
Yeah. Well, there's processes you're going through when that happens, and then you want to be an advocate, so you have to find your voice, don't you? For sure. Okay, so what area does your chapter cover?
Okay, so we don't specifically have areas. There are two MADD chapters in Manitoba. Winnipeg has one,
Okay.
and then we have one. So
Would you
we-
consider this southwestern or rural?
Yeah,
or?
Yeah.
probably southwestern, because
Okay.
Brandon is kind of our main hub.
Okay.
We go south to the Saskatchewan border, US border, basically.
Mhm.
We go as far as Carberry, and we've done some events up as far as Nipawa. We aren't against doing things in other communities. It's volunteers. So
Right.
if we have
Right.
volunteers in those areas to help us,
Yeah.
we are more than willing to expand.
Expand, sure, exactly. So do you guys have any upcoming events with the MADD program?
Yeah, so our biggest event is coming up right away in November. So the Red Ribbon campaign starts in November and runs till January every year. It's a national campaign, so it's done by MADD Canada.
Nationally, yes, okay.
Exactly. So for that event, we do various things. We get people to wear the red ribbon pins. Often we will cooperate with different companies to try and get the message out. There's red ribbon decals that companies will put on vehicles or in shop windows.
Okay.
And then there are the MADD donation boxes. So our volunteers distribute those all around Canada. We'll have some locally all across southern Manitoba. They're little boxes, and they have every year a different victim on them and kind of a bit of their story.
Okay.
So that's kind of the biggest event coming up.
Okay. So it's run nationally, but the local chapters do their,
Yeah, do their part.
depending on the amount of volunteers you have and how far you can stretch that, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And then any donations made locally stay with the local chapter. So any donations made
nice.
to our boxes that we distribute locally will go to our chapter directly.
Okay. So how else do they raise awareness then in the community?
So some of the other things that we do as a chapter, we have signs in skating rinks, curling rinks. You guys have one here. I was just shown, and
Good.
it's great to see. We have impaired driver caught here signs that are distributed in some communities when they have, we've partnered with the municipalities or the towns to do those. It's disturbing to see where those signs are placed. There's several of them in Brandon, and one that always sticks out to me is right by the sportsplex by the school. We also do call 911, call 911 to report impaired drivers. We have those. We, help me out, Danielle. We do mock car crashes where we go to schools and do an accident to show the students what it would be like, all the services that would be involved.
Wow.
And then there's presentations that go along with those.
We usually speak. Someone from our family, now that we've been involved, usually speaks, and the students have commented that it's very impactful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, to hear from
That's what I
somebody
was-
who's truly been involved in it,
Yeah.
not just a volunteer coming onto a group, but truly had some personal attachment to it. Yeah.
And then we do a few other things too. We're involved usually once a year. We'll do a Chuck-a-Puck event with the Brandon Wheat Kings. We do floats in the parades in Brandon, and we have done some rural ones as well. We also, probably our biggest event for our chapter itself is our Strides for Change run. It's a color run, like if anybody's ever seen like Run or Die, those color runs. We do one of those once a year in June. That's been a lot of fun. I think that a lot of people see MADD as very kind of doom and gloom prohibitionists. That's not the case. We are not prohibitionists. We just don't drive impaired. That is our message. So the run has been a really positive way to show families that MADD is fun, and we want to encourage families to be together, just discourage driving impaired.
Right, to be more responsible.
Yeah.
For sure. So, so the funds you say that you raise in your area stay here. What other things do you do with those funds?
So the signs have been a big one. So
Okay.
the report impaired driver signs, the only place they were in Manitoba, as far as I'm aware, was Brandon. And then there were some in Winnipeg. We've actually got them now in 9 different municipalities, towns in southern Manitoba. The mock car crashes, that's another place that we spend some of our
Yes.
money.
You would need equipment for that, right?
We do one in Brandon, and we're actually working on trying to do one rurally as well. Another project that we got off the ground this year was the crashed car. So we actually got a car that had been smashed up a little bit and put a message encouraging people not to drive impaired, and it's been moved around a little bit, and we'll start that up again in the spring. We also, some of our funds go to supporting victims, so sending victims to victims conference,
Okay.
and doing victim events if we can. So those are, and then the run. Those are our
Right.
big ones.
So not only trying to save our community, but also helping those who are survived some of these events to help them move forward.
Yeah.
And have resolution in their life. Well, that's great. So how can the rural communities support MADD?
So one of the biggest mandates, I'm currently the president, and one thing that I've really wanted to focus on during my time is increasing our presence in rural Manitoba. Because although we're called MADD Brandon, we're really also responsible for the Southwest, and that being where I'm from was really important to me. So the reality of that, though, is we need more rural volunteers, and it doesn't have to be a commitment to the board, but someone who could put out red ribbon boxes or help us be in the rural parades, or help us communicate with the schools about presentations, or trying to get mock car crashes up and running in those communities. Helping assist with rides. So in Melita, for example, some of our family has a bus or donates their time to take a bus from socials. And those things, we just can't do that in all of the communities on our own. So
Right.
Rural support would help us reach.
So people could get a hold of you or anybody on the board and say, I want to help. I don't want to come to meetings, I don't want to be on the board, but I want to help.
Yeah.
Like, can I be a driver for, the month of December? I know that there's lots of times drivers set aside in that month so people
Yeah.
can get home safely and stuff. So they can do that and have a short time commitment with you then.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's lots of options. There's board options. There's options to help us with social media, if that's an interest. There's tons and tons of options. If anyone is interested in volunteering, go on the MADD Brandon and area website, and there's an application right there.
Okay. Wow. So repeat that, MADD,
Brandon.
Brandon, and area.
Yeah.
Website. So
Yeah.
if they just Google that, it should come up.
Yep, it
Okay,
should.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful. So that's the social media you're talking about mostly?
We also have Facebook,
Okay.
Twitter, Instagram. That's another thing we do. We do social media contests. We have a Halloween one coming up right away.
Oh, good.
If you take pictures of your kids and create some sort of MADD message, and you can win some pretty cool prizes.
Oh, nice.
The Verdant Oil Caps have donated some tickets, so.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
good. That sounds great.
Mhm.
Well, thank you very much, ladies. I think we covered everything. I think we did. But thank you so much for coming in. So sorry to hear about your loss, but I'm so glad that you have healed through that, and you're putting your efforts to good use as volunteering with the MADD program. Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
For having us.
Thank you for joining us here at Spotlight in Souris. I hope you have a great day.